Hi, I made another text video. I call it text video because I wrote it in text before I relay it on video. Like I said, it helps. Hi, this is Robert Holloway, and here are my 2 cents, which is more than what some people are willing to invest into wisdom. Because of this video is about the 3 classes of the unknowingness. I made this text to help me communicate my thoughts, observation, and ideas into video, where you, the viewer, can view it and make your own conclusions. The 3 classes of unknowingness is 1. Not knowing, 2. True stupidity, and 3. Being a dumbass. Excuse me. 1. Not knowing. This kind of unknowingness is the most innocent type. It is the part where the person or animal truly don't know the cause and effects. Yet let's say that a child is fascinated with fire. His or her curiosity tempts them to touch it. At this point, we as adults know that fire burns, but to the child they do not. And without our guidance or our input, the child goes on and tries to satisfy their curiosity. This is the stage of not knowing, and curiosity is the teacher. When the child touches the fire and discovers that it burns, the child has learned something new. The child then has the option to A. Find other ways to manipulate the fire, B. Stay away from fire, or C. Touch the fire again. While option A helps the child gain more knowledge and option B turns the child into a pyrophobic idiot, option C comes to our second class of unknowingness, which is true stupidity. 2. True stupidity. This kind of unknowingness is pure stupidity, repeating the mistakes of the past in hopes to find a different outcome. Going back to the pyromaniac child, the child continues to touch the fire and notice that the fire will continue to burn them into a crisp if they don't learn it from the second time. This is one of the most stupidest things that even we as adults are guilty of. At this stage, we know the cause and effect, yet continue to be oblivious of the outcome. Which comes to our last one, the last and third form of unknowingness. Number 3, being a dumbass. Being a dumbass is the most stupid trait of our species. It is also the most deadliest because the wheel of not knowing is evidence. There are 4 signs of being a dumbass. They include bigotry, inconsideration, ignorance, and ignorance. These 4 traits of being a dumbass restrict our rights to be human, and therefore limits wisdom and knowledge to a bare minimum. Let's go through each one of them, shall we? Bigotry. Bigotry is the most deadliest form of being a dumbass because it mixes false pride and genuine fear combined with stereotypes in which we are all guilty of and therefore a victim of it. Bigotry is caused by a seclusion of one's own customs and ideology in which we live in, not considering other points of view, which come to our next topic, inconsideration. Inconsideration falls into this category because we fail to understand the inconvenience towards others. It can also hurt other people's feelings. Bring in the violin. The mentality of an inconsiderate person only thinks about their own lifestyle and viewpoints, which is fine to a degree, but when that lifestyle or point of view affects others, such as making laws, then it becomes more than inconvenient, but unfair and unjust. These types of people use politics and religion to inconvenience other people with different lifestyles and points of views. They are inconsiderate as well as intolerant. Our third trait of being a dumbass is ignorance, which is ignoring people or ignoring the truth or whatever. Ignorance allows us to ignore everything and everyone in hopes to live a lie for fear of the truth. With ignorance, we desire not to know, therefore making us dumbfounded. If bigotry is deadly in a larger-than-life kind of way, ignorance, excuse me, I always get those two words confused. They're so similar to each other. Ignorance and ignorance is so similar in my dictionary. But ignorance can be deadly in a minute way, such as crossing the street and ignoring that incoming truck with, air brakes. And our last one, ignorance. I'm going to try to keep them separate because I'm always getting those two confused. Ignorance may bring bliss, but with a cost. Ignorance gives us a false sense of security by trusting in lies. Now, ignorance is living the lie, and ignorance is secure in the lies. People who trust in politics and religious leaders fall under ignorance because they feel that thinking for yourself is too much work. Because of this, communism was born, and liberties and rights were limited. But ignorance also plays a minor role in one's life, such as trusting your mate to be faithful, believing in a God to be hateful, and thinking that you have security. Some people will force themselves to believe in their own lies. In conclusions, not knowing has many aspects, from childhood innocence to KKK philosophy. The only way we can gain true wisdom and knowledge is to learn without fear, pride, or a "I told you so" attitude, without criticizing others or doubting ourselves, but learning from our mistakes and teaching others without force. Wisdom is power, and it is also freedom. The attainment of knowledge is a reward for the soul and something worth living for. Only wisdom can break the chains of stupidity. This is Robert Holloway saying, get a brain. Bye.